Happy Monday morning, guys. Welcome to writing. All right, so here we are. We've finally worked so hard collecting all of our research. We're ready to put our project together. I want to make a Google Slideshow presentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here at Google. I'm going to come up to our little dots, and I'm going to open up my drive. I'm going to open up my drive because this is where I save all of my work that I'm doing for our Google Classroom. We had started a slideshow presentation when we spoke in class, but I'm going to start fresh from the very beginning so that you guys can see how to create this presentation. So we're going to come up here to New in your left-hand corner, hit New, and we're going to choose a new Google slide. That will open up a brand new window, and it will look like this. So the things that I have sitting in front of me right now on the computer is my introduction planner, my body 1, body 2, and body 3 planner. This is all the information that I'm going to need in order to start putting together my slides. What this video is going to do is I'm just going to start to put together a presentation as if I was Callie or you or anybody else in the classroom. And I'm just going to talk as I do it so that you can hear my thinking. This is the same as if I was putting it together in front of the classroom for you. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you see this speaker notes? It makes me crazy. It takes up so much space. So you see my little grabby hand, and I'm just going to pull it down. And that's going to make my presentation space just a little bit bigger so I can see it. So the first thing I need is a title page, something that the person is going to see as soon as they see my presentation and go, wow, that's really, really awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these text boxes. So I'm going to click on it so that the blue text box pops up, and I'm just going to hit the delete button on my keyboard. And it's gone. Hit it, hit the button delete. If it doesn't delete when you hit delete, resize it. So I'll just resize it just a little bit, and then I hit the delete button and it disappears. So I want my background to be big and bold and stand out. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to insert a picture. Insert an image. Now, I don't have a picture that I love or I think is really great, so I'm just going to search the web. And it's going to come up with a little Google box right on the side. And I'm just going to type in New York State map. Whoops. Whoop, make sure you put that space in. And I'm just going to look to see if I can find a picture that I really like, that stands out, that grabs me, and this one speaks to me. I'm going to click it. I hit the button Insert, and it pops right onto my screen. So now I'm going to look at it. I'm going to take the blue, and maybe I'll stretch it out. I don't like it. I'm going to hit the delete button. Gone. You're going to change things over and over. You're going to delete them. You're going to add them in. Not a big deal. So I'm just going to come back, insert image, search the web, New York State map. I'll keep looking. Maybe I'll find something else that grabs me or piques my interest. So I'm looking. I'm going to go with this one up here. I like this one. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, that one looks really nice. All right, so maybe, okay, see that red line going up and down? That tells me I'm in the middle of my page going up and down. And if I keep bringing it to the right, you'll see that I have it side to side. And when it comes together, when you shift it around, right there, you see those 4 lines? That means my picture is in the middle of the page. So I'll try to stretch it out. It might look funny though. So if I stretch it out to fill the page just enough so that the picture doesn't look funny, but that it's nice and big. That little explore button is getting in my way. Okay, so here's my New York State. Looking pretty good. What do we think if we stretch it out all the way. I still think that looks pretty good, so I think I'm going to keep it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a title. Oh, wait. Forgot about you over there. I don't know if I like it all stretched out like this. See, these are decisions you have to make. It's your presentation. So I think I'm going to shrink it just a little bit so that it looks like New York State, like that. And what I'll put in the background, so I came up here and I clicked background, and I'm going to click color. And I'm going to open up all these choices here. And I think I'm going to pick like a green or something, maybe blue, something that kind of makes the title really pop. And then I'll hit done. And look at that. There's the title page of my presentation. Now I'm going to put a text box. Up here, the little letter T in a square is a text box. I'm going to click it. And then I get this like plus sign. And I'm going to click and drag my mouse. And I get this big blue box. And I can make it however big I want. Boop. And don't feel that, oh no, I made this text box and now it has to be this big. No, look, you got these little boxes right here to grab things around and move things around. No big deal. I'm going to make my title something like New York State is the greatest place to live. I'm going to put an exclamation point. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem very exciting, does it? That little itty bitty text up in the corner. So now we're going to play with it. Click and drag, highlight it, and let's come over here and make it bigger. 15, 16, 17. Keep clicking. Make it big. Because remember, this is your title page. This is what people are going to see first. New York State is the greatest place to live. I don't like where it is. What does that mean? What do I do? This is so hard. Okay. I know that I can put as many text boxes on a page as I want. So watch what I do. I'm going to erase this part and just leave New York State in my text box. I'm going to close the bottom of it like that. So New York State is up at the top. I'm going to make a new text box. And I'm going to write, is the greatest place to live. And this one was 52, so I'm going to make this one 52 also. Okay. Now you get to play. So I like to fit my text in my box, and then I like to move it around. So I'm going to come over here, wait till I get those 4 arrows. See those 4 arrows? That means I can grab it and move it around. So I'm going to put New York State at the top of my slide. New York State is the greatest place to live. And I'm going to put this, and I'm going to stretch it out over here. I'm going to stretch it out over here. A little bit more. This is very strange just to be working on something and like talking to you guys. So I'm going to see if I can get live. No, I can't. So you have a couple of options. You can keep stretching it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink it just enough so that it sits on a line like this. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. And now I'm going to center it, looking for that red line. Now, I don't like the font, so I'm going to come up here to Arial. I happen to like Pacifico. It's just a font that I like. You'll find a font that you like. I think Pacifico looks nice for the title. Uh-oh, look, state came down. So all you do is stretch out your text box. See? Goes right up to the top. New York is the greatest place to live. I think that looks pretty great. This is making me crazy a little bit. The eye hanging off the picture. So is it going to look funny if I stretch it out a little bit? No, I don't think it looks that bad. Let's see if we could center it a little bit. I feel like it's not centered. But it says it is. So, okay. So New York is the greatest place to live. That's it. Awesome. Looks really good. I don't think it's centered on the picture. And that's just me being crazy. That's all right. I'll fix it. I'll fix it when you guys aren't watching. Okay, so here's my title page. New York is the greatest place to live. Now what? Oh yeah, I'm going to come over to my introduction planner. And when I look at my introduction planner, it says that my first region that I worked on is the Greater Niagara region. So I'm going to come up here to this little plus sign. It says New Slide. I'm going to hit that button, and boom. You see down the left-hand side? Here's my title right up here. And now here I have this blank slide that I can type into. So now I'm going to put all of my information into these next slides and work through my body in introduction and my body planners. So the first thing I want to introduce, since I just said that New York is the greatest place to live, is that I want to talk about how New York is divided up into regions. So I'm going to type in regions of New York. What could I say about these regions of New York? Well, I could say that New York State is divided into regions. A region is, but I'm not really sure what a region is. Let me Google it. So I open up a new tab and I come right over to here. So I'll type in, what is a region? Oh, look, a region is an area or division, especially part of a country or the world having definable characteristics, but not always fixed boundaries. A region in geography is an area that is broadly divided by physical characteristics. Okay, part of the body, especially an area near an organ. Okay, well, that's not us. So a region. So it's just an area or a division of land. So we'll come over to our presentation. New York State is divided into regions. A region is an area of land. I chose to focus on So now I have to think of a way that I want to present this. I could say, I could shrink this box right here, make a couple of dots. No, there's no water in there. And I'm going to put 3 text boxes down here, like this. 1, 1, and this is the Greater Niagara region. Now these are going to be your regions, but right now I'm writing mine. I did the Greater Niagara region. I did the Finger Lakes region. And I did the Chautauqua, Chautauqua, E.g., E.G.H.E.N.Y, Allegheny. Now, this is how I'm choosing to present the information. You don't have to do this like me. This is my choice. You can give me the information any way you want, but the information should, oh, okay, so what I just did. So my box, right? I went up here to these lines and I just picked a border size. I just said 2 points and see how it immediately pops up black. That's what I want because I want to make these boxes about the same size so that they all fit together. And I'm going to make all of them the same. So like I said, this is not the way that you need to present your material. I'm choosing to present my material this way. You don't have to do 3 boxes and show me your regions. This is just what I'm doing. Okay, so I made them all about the same size. Again, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking to give you the information. So here's all of my regions. So I have New York is the greatest place to live, and now I'm going to come talk about my regions. Again, I'm somebody who likes things a certain way, so I'm going to want these underlined and centered, and I'm not expecting you to do all of that. Do you understand? I want you to try. That's all. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to center my text. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come over here and underline it, and I'm going to come over here and center it. Because this is just the way I like things presented. You can present them any way you want. Center it and underline it. So now this is nice and clear to everybody who's going to come and see my presentation that these are the regions of New York and that it's divided into regions, which is an area of land. I chose to focus on the Greater Niagara region, the Finger Lakes region, and the Chautauqua-Allegheny region. So now, what could I do with these boxes? And I try to think of ways to make this kind of thing fun. So for me, what would be fun would be putting a picture of these regions right here. Now, I might have a hard time finding a specific picture of the Finger Lakes region inside my slideshow. So what I'll do is I'll come back over to my Google window and I'll type in Finger Lakes region of New York. And I'll come over to images. And I'll start to look for an image that I really like that stands out for the Finger Lakes region of New York. And I think something like this from fingerlakes.com is really, really beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the picture and I'm going to save image as. That's really important. Hit save image as. Your computer's going to think about it for a minute, and then you're going to decide where you want it. I like to keep mine in my downloads folder, and here it is, Watkins Glen State Park, Gorge, G Night. So I'm just going to write Finger Lakes. And for ease, I'm just going to save it on my desktop. And I'm going to hit save. My little arrow up here is telling me that I saved it. I'm going to come back over to my presentation. I'm going to make sure my cursor is at the end. I'm going to insert image from my computer. And on my desktop, there it is, the Finger Lakes. And I'm going to hit open. And boom, there's my picture. And now I just have to shrink it up so that it fits here nice. And right inside my Finger Lakes region box. Perfect. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the other 3 regions. I'm going to go look for a picture of Niagara, and I'm going to go look for a picture of the Chautauqua-Allegheny region. Next slide. Boop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to talk about my first region, which is the Greater Niagara region. So now when I come over to my Body 1 planner, I see that I'm focusing on the Greater Niagara region. Now, the Greater Niagara region, I chose to talk about the Wild Center. I chose to talk about Lockport Locks, and I chose to talk about the Maid of the Mist. So now I want to think of a way that I want to display this information. Okay, let's see. Greater Niagara region. I don't like the way that this is looking, so I'm going to change the theme because I want it to look like this one. So I want the way that this is like big in a title and like small at the bottom. So let's see if we can change the theme. There we go. Okay. So now we've changed the theme, and I did that just by coming up here to theme, and it pops up right here, and I just scroll, and I just picked one that I liked. So I'm going to X that off. I want Greater Niagara region to be bigger, and I want my text down here to be smaller. So I'm going to shrink my text box like this to like half the size, and I'm going to make this one double the size like that. And then I'm able to make Greater Niagara just a little bit bigger. So maybe I'll make it, like 60 kind of thing. And I'm going to stick it in the center. And I really want it like big and bold and like, boom, Greater Niagara region. Yeah, I like that. Maybe even bigger. Maybe I like 70. Watch out, here we come. All right, so we got the Greater Niagara region. And down here, I want to write something like, located in the northwest corner of the state, the Greater Niagara region has amazing outdoor activities and so much to see and do. Again, this is just information that's coming off of my introduction planner. Located in the northwest corner of the state, the Greater Niagara region has amazing outdoor activities and so much to see and do. Okay, great. So that's my wonderful jazzy little text. Maybe I'll make it, big. Maybe I'll put it in like 24 kind of thing. So it's nice and big. And now this slide doesn't look super fantastic or colorful or anything like that, but you can always change it up. You can always put a border on there. You can make the border crazy color. You can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want a solid background. I don't like that, but I do like when the border is a color. So I'll try to like find a way to, here, border color. There we go. Perfect. Boom. See, I mean, just something as simple as putting a color around it. I can make my background a color. I could have made, okay, so I could make my background this minty green, right? And then I can choose to make my border color black so it stands out. And then maybe I want to make it, dots. And so you can play with these slides because they're very, I don't even know if this is the right word, editable. Like you can edit them really easily. My suggestion would be to put all of the information into the slides. Get all of your type in, get all of your information in, and then go back and add in all the fun stuff like a picture. So like I didn't sit here and waste time finding 2 more pictures for you. I just went on to the next slide because I can always go back and add in pictures later. You can always go back and add in transitions later. Transitions are a lot of fun, but I don't do, me personally, I don't do transitions until my PowerPoint is completely finished, and then those are like the little like whipped cream cherry sprinkles on top of the sundae. Those are the things that make it extra special. So we've been working for 24 minutes. What I would like you to do is carve out like a half an hour's worth of time and sit here in front of the computer and play with your slides. If you're listening to this video in the background as you're working, you've already been working for 25 minutes. So a few more minutes, and look, we've done 3 slides already. As I work on this presentation, I'm going to record myself as well, and then I can post it so you can just kind of see how I'm developing my slideshow presentation and my information. Before you X out of your presentation, what you really should have done first is come up here and called this something. What you're going to call it is your name. So I'm working as Callie. Callie, New York State Project. So it would be your name, New York State Project. And then once you just click back on your presentation, it's saved right there at the top. And this is saving in your drive that is hooked up to whatever email address you're working in. I'm working in Callie's email address right now, so this is going to be saved in the drive for that email address. Bring your questions to Zoom tonight. I will see you at 2:30. Bye, everybody.